Journey, you play volleyball at Westminster. Which Westminster professor would be the best setter on the volleyball team?
I would have to go with Mr. Peters.
Everybody says him for every question. We ask a question like, which Westminster professor could ride a dragon? They'd be like, Petrus! Because he has! This week on Chalk and Talk, we discuss diversity, equity, and inclusion as Journey Washington draws an inspiring moment from Black history. Candace Okello draws inclusion, and Nyna Hess draws a rainbow. Let's talk about it. A lot of people understand diversity and inclusion and how those relate to a college campus, but sometimes people get tripped up on equity and what that means.
I'll try to explain it this way. So diversity is when you think about who's represented, so who's in the room. When you think of inclusion, you're thinking about, are those voices actually heard? And equity asks the question, if that isn't happening, why not?
Tell me about BSU. What is it, and how can a student get involved with BSU?
BSU is Black Student Union, and it's very easy to get involved with it. Last week we did a game night, and it turned out really well, and we played like different music of like the Black culture.
I think honestly, this year especially with the new hires that we've made in the diversity department and heard a lot more conversation about it. I know that like during orientation, Candace did a really incredible job of including diversity training for all of the OLs.
One thing I always start any training or conversation with is with self-reflection. And so how are we showing up into different spaces, and how do our particular identities and our particular context inform how we engage difference?
Nyna, you're the president of SAGA at Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
What is SAGA?
SAGA stands for the Sexuality and Gender Alliance.
Who can be in SAGA?
Well, anybody can be in SAGA, and they are more than welcome to participate in anything that SAGA does.
For me to be able to tell a student, and not only tell it, but show a student that you're gonna be all right, and that there is a place for you here, even though it may not feel like it, but you matter here, and we need you here.
Now that we've talked the talk, let's chalk the chalk.
I like what you did there. Go ahead and walk us through it.
It represents voices, multiple voices, amplified voices, the ones that are typically marginalized, having the space.
I put this because I went to like a few protests in the summer, and I feel like being there like changed my like perspective on things.
That's more thought, effort, and meaning than I have ever put into anything ever.
It's a rainbow heart for love, all kinds of love.
I also drew a rainbow, as that was the prompt. So I put a little W down there, which stands for Westminster, and it could be an M this way for much love.
Yay!
Westminster. This week, we learned about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I chalked that one up as a win. Have a nice day.
Let me.
You can't look, dude. What are you trying to do?